So it's super, super important that you actually schedule yourself into your calendar. We always have, throughout our day, it's always go, go, go. We have everything else and, our whole to-do list, the kids, the wife, everybody else. But where do we fit in that to-do list? Right? We forget about ourselves a lot of the time. I make sure on a daily basis, I put in Queen Keisha time. Even if it's for 30 minutes, I actually schedule it in my calendar and an alarm goes off at that time. So make sure that you schedule yourself into your calendar, into your to-do list. Why are you not that important? Right? Everything else and everyone else is that important. Why are you not important in your own calendar? Right?
I'm Junaid Ahmed, host of Hacks and Hobbies podcast and a digital presence advisor at Humble Zone. This episode is brought to you by Home Studio Mastery. I launched a consultation and course program to help podcasters and course creators to create a space in their homes that'll reduce the friction of creating content and appearing their best when showing up on camera. The pandemic gave us a lot of issues, but this one is here to stay. We're now so much closer to our audience thanks to video becoming more popular and affordable. I help guide folks who want to create Hollywood-worthy studios to not only capture great content, but also build more confidence, more authority, and be more comfortable in front of the camera. If I can do it, you can too. And with my help, you can do it faster. So if you'd like to learn more, visit homestudiomastery.com and how you too can create a home studio that brings out your personality, professionalism, and possibilities. Thank you for tuning in to Hacks and Hobbies with your host, Junaid. We're visited by our amazing guests coming from all walks of life who want to learn their story, their struggles, and their journey on how they got to where they are today. So stick around. Today I'm so excited to introduce to you my good friend Keisha Luke, aka Queen Keisha, the Queen of Nutrition. It is so cool to talk to yet another queen on the podcast. Keisha Luke is a corporate nutritional leadership speaker and teaches healthy balance along with the essential topics that lead to healthier and more productive employees that generate increased revenue. Keisha graduated with an honors bachelor's degree and she holds several certifications in the space of Holistic Practitioner, Aromatherapy, Reflexology and Culinary Nutrition, as well as a Diploma in Massage Therapy. Her knowledge of nutritional and digestive health continues to reach many lives. With over 15 plus years of experience in the health field, assisting over 5,000 clients, Queen Keisha continues her mission to nutritionally and digestively assist humanity internationally. I cannot wait for you guys to listen in. So let's jump right into the episode as we speak with Queen Keisha. Hey Queen Keisha, how are you doing today? This is Keisha Luke. How are you doing today? So excited to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Junaid. I am amazing. I hope you are beautiful.
Absolutely. I am beautiful. I am amazing. And I am also fasting. So super excited to talk about nutrition because nutrition is so important. It is the fuel for our mind, for our bodies, for everything that we do, right?
That's correct. That's correct. And I just want to say this, like, kudos to you with the fasting. I do my own fast as well, especially the beginning of the year, and even about almost every 3 months. And kudos to anybody that does that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I think it's super important when we actually keep our intentions pure as to why we're fasting.
Yes.
Right? So I really just want to say, like, congratulations to you, man.
Thank you. So it is also the month of Ramadan. So that's, if you've probably heard, right?
Yep.
You fast 30 days. Here's the beautiful part about it. Every year, the month of Ramadan moves up 10 days.
Interesting.
Because It is based on the lunar calendar.
Okay. I didn't know
So,
that.
mhm, there's a lot of countries that practice, that follow the lunar calendar in their own ways. Like China will have 13 months one of the years because of they also follow the lunar calendar, but the reason they do the 13 months is so they can do something like the leap year that we do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. But what's the beautiful part about it is that if Ramadan fell in the same time every year, you can get bored. You're gonna have 12 hours fasting or 18-hour fasting because when it was in summer, it was 18 hours for fasting.
Right.
But it's so powerful. And for that, nutrition is so important because if you're putting in your body the right foods, you can last those 12 to 18 hours without a doubt. So I'm super excited to be talking to you about nutrition because you are the queen of nutrition. So let's jump right in.
Absolutely. And just to kind of, segue into that when it comes to the
Hmm.
fasting and the amount of hours that you're fasting,
Yeah.
our bodies actually fast, right? Fast at night is what I'm trying to
Hmm.
say.
Hmm.
So we actually really should be fasting in our bodies about 14 hours,
Wow.
right? While you're sleeping. And the
Hmm.
reason why, and that's why they say, you don't eat anything heavy before you go to bed. And the reason why is because your body's trying to process, it's trying to break down,
Hmm.
it's trying to repair, to replenish all of these things.
Wow.
So it's interesting that during the day you're really using that same concept. I call it, the
Hmm.
sleep concept.
The
Let's
sleep
say,
concept.
but
Ooh.
you're bringing night into day, where you're fasting for, let's say, between the 12 to 18 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas usually people would be sleeping during that time, right? So it's a little easier because you're not
Yes.
on the go a lot. But with that being said, nutrition is definitely a huge, huge component when it comes
Yeah.
to sustaining your body. And regardless if you are fasting or if you are the busy bee on the
Hmm.
go.
Yeah.
And I say that because I see it constantly, day in, day out. The first thing that people gravitate towards will be, let's say, a stimulant, such as coffee or chocolate or donuts, right? A very heavy, sugary, fatty, salty substance, something like that, in order to fuel their body rather than really giving their body the proper nutrients to be able to sustain those energy levels throughout the day. So regardless if you're fasting, regardless if you are that busy beyond the goal, you want to make sure that you are intaking enough nutrients to keep you going, to keep you powering through the day. It's super important.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And having the right nutrition, enough hydration in your body to sustain through the day is so important as well.
And I'm so glad you said that in terms of hydration. Stay hydrated. And the
Mm.
reason why is because water, known as H2O, helps the body to flow. It's a rhythm, right? Whether it's the toxins that you are removing out of your body, whether it is to keep your energy levels up. And let's be real, you just have to keep your body hydrated because without H2O, without water, what's going to happen? You're going to dehydrate your body, and that's not going to go down well at all. And not only that, a lot of people don't realize as well, Janaid, that and this was something I learned even more so when I was really, really exercising like powerhouse woman, like super woman in the gym a lot. Like, and I'm talking like a good 2 to 3 times a day. I used to
Wow.
work out hardcore. Yeah. And something I learned when it comes to hydration is so I would get headaches sometimes. And the headaches would come, let's say, if I was too tired, if I was really
Mm.
tired and then I was working out, or if I didn't eat properly before I worked out, like if I didn't intake enough protein.
Yeah.
And I realized that I would get headaches. And so what I would do, drink water.
Mm.
Every time I sat and I drank water, and it was like, okay, hold on. It's going away. And this was like in my teenage years, right? Teenage to early
Wow.
20 years. Yeah. So hydration, it helps. Like even the littlest things. You have a headache, you have a migraine. First thing I'm going to ask you is your body hydrated?
Wow. That's amazing because yeah, I mean, you got to stay hydrated and your body needs that water. I mean, our bodies are 50 to 70% water. Blood is based off of water, right? Everything like wow. So yeah, you will have headaches if you're dehydrated because the body's like, wait, I need to move this stuff around out of here. So,
Exactly.
and then you go to the doctor and like, oh, take this medication, but not talking about the water part because they're expecting you to already be drinking 8 glasses of water, right?
Right, exactly. And I wouldn't even say 8. It's really half your body weight is the amount of water that you should be drinking daily.
Daily. Yep.
Daily. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why, you have to think about it like this, right? So um, we spoke about the fasting, right? But also let's speak about, because obviously I'm not sure, are you drinking any water in between, or are you
No,
completely
cut off. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that. So you obviously have your own intentions for doing what you're doing and the way that you're doing it, right?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
not to say it's a bad thing at all, because
Right.
I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also important when you are safely coming off of that fast, when you are going to feed your body now, it's important that you hydrate your body, but more importantly, you want to hydrate your gut. That's the important. So when I say gut, I'm speaking about your digestive system,
Mm-hmm.
which helps, because your digestive system, your gut, it's the dumping ground. It's the
Yes.
dumping ground for everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you are not drinking water, it's going to be really hard for you to pass a lot of that excess toxins out of your body.
Oh my God. Yeah. Makes so much sense. Obviously, I mean, when we're washing dishes, we use a lot of water.
Absolutely. Exactly. It's it's the same concept, and it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
People wash their dishes better, or I use this analogy where I
Yeah.
say people actually fuel their cars better than they fuel their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you wonder, right? Makes you think.
Oh my God, this is so funny. Wow. So we started talking about nutrition. We talked the importance of hydration, importance of proper nutrition, but we didn't get to go into your origin story. That's what I love to go into. So let's jump back and share with us your little journey on how you came to be on this path.
All right. 2 words: miracle baby.
Miracle baby. All right.
So I was actually coined the miracle baby at the hospital when I was born, because I was born
Mm,
premature, 4 pounds 3 ounces, and they actually didn't think I was going to live, to be
yeah.
honest with you, right? And my mom, and it's like, oh, there she is.
Yeah.
Right? So from there, and hence this is going to lead into the Queen Keisha as well, right? Because you have a
Awesome.
miracle baby now, and of course, as if anybody understands, having a premature child, what that means is that we don't get nutrients in our body,
Mm,
right? There's a lack of nutrients, a lack of minerals, of vitamins, all of these great things that we need in order to grow, in order to
yeah.
help our bodies develop properly. It's actually diminished, right?
Mm,
In the womb when we're within our mother. So here I was, the miracle baby, 4 pounds 3 ounces. And of course, I'm like 4'11" today.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But this
Yeah.
is but this is the beginning of my journey. Who would have thought? Where I've been in and out of the hospital to the age of 14. I was
Mm,
sick to my stomach, really
wow.
hard to digest things. But here's the key as well. As I got older, I started to realize it was actually harder to absorb
Mm,
my proper minerals, my nutrients from my foods. So during the early stages, believe it or not, I would drink a lot of my nutrients.
mm.
So juices. Do you remember Boost back in the day?
Oh
Are you
yeah.
sure? and
Yeah.
and I'm not
Ensure.
not advocating for any of those things, okay, at all
Right.
by any
Yeah.
means. But I'm just saying that this was a part of my journey, because I was
Mm-hmm.
not intaking the proper nutrients and all that,
Yeah.
right? So these were kind of the tools, or the supplements, quote unquote,
Mm-hmm.
that were assisting, or at least trying to assist my body to get some kind of like nutrients in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and as I got older, it was kind of like, okay, why don't we just stop for a second?
Mm-hmm.
And, I'll never forget, I was in the hospital and I've been quarantined. So it wasn't funny then, but
Yeah.
it's funny now, right? Like I
It's
can
funny now,
laugh because
exactly.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm living on, but when I was in the hospital, I was actually quarantined with an E. coli bacteria.
Ooh.
And so it was an invader. It was a nasty
Mm-hmm.
invader. Okay. And I'll never forget, I sat into that hospital and I said, the first thing, Janae, what do we do?
Mm-hmm.
Pray, right? So the
Pray.
first thing I
Gotta
did,
pray.
I prayed and I just said, God, universe, you get me out of here. And I'm going to just give my life to assisting others in their
Mm.
nutritional journey. I didn't know what I was saying at the time, right?
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying it because it's like, okay, I'm making a pact with the big man upstairs and saying, get me
Mm-hmm.
out of here because I want to feel better. I don't
Yeah.
like to feel badly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I was supposed to be in there for a good couple days. I was out of there in 24 hours.
Wow. Power of prayer.
Power of prayer. So let's fast forward now.
Mm-hmm.
Queen Keisha is the queen of nutrition. And the reason why is because I am nutritionally and digestively educating humanity worldwide. That is my
Beautiful.
mission today.
I love that. Absolutely love that. And you've done a really good job. I mean, when I checked out your um page and profile and everything, I was like, wow, this is really powerful. You're on TV, you're doing talks, you're doing, going to schools, this is beautiful. This is amazing. And this is information that everybody needs to be taught in school, right?
Absolutely.
Growing up.
Absolutely. Believe it or not, and I'm going to share this with you guys, okay? And I've never shared this before on any
Yeah.
platform that I've been on, is I was not good at science at all.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? You're sitting there and they're teaching you about plant cell, about animal cell, and you're sitting there and you're kind of like, okay. And you're trying to piece everything together because you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to understand it from your body. Right?
Yeah.
And it never made sense to me. It's like it was
Has to.
never clicking. I was
Yeah.
horrible at science and math.
Mm-hmm.
I dropped it when I could, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Now, let's fast forward years later, and here am I not even in university, but in college.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to pick up anatomy, physiology, chemistry, biochem, like all the things that I was running from, it all came back
You
again.
had to pick it up. Yeah.
And
Wow.
guess what? I mastered it. Because why? Because I mastered my body.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say this, excuse me, that I am mastering my body.
Yes,
Because every day is a personal journey.
Mm-hmm.
Junaid, you and I, we had a conversation before where we spoke about, what is nutrition, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said to you, nutrition is personal development. It's a daily journey of personal development,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We
It
spoke
is.
about this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I say it's that because we turn around and we say personal development is, self-care. It's
Mm-hmm.
self-love. It's going to the spa. It's drinking more water.
Yeah.
It's exercising, right? This is how people have coined self-care, self-love, and personal development.
Yes.
But why is it that the most important thing, which is the fuel that you're putting in your body to move or to wake up or to
Mm-hmm.
speak, right? Why is that not a part of your own personal development of self-care and self-love, which is
100%.
nutrition?
Mm-hmm.
Super, super important. So nutrition is a continuous daily journey.
It's like got the nicest car, but I can't really drive it if there's no oil, if there's no fuel, if there's nothing in there, I can't really drive it. Same thing goes with computers. You have a nice computer, but if there's no electricity, and that's what nutrition is for our bodies, right?
Absolutely. And I love that you brought up computers. So, right, I think before we even started this podcast, I said to you, oh my gosh, I'm not a computer whiz at all, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But the one thing that we can all share and understand is systems,
Mm-hmm.
right? We all work under systems. Whether it's in a business or an organization or a corporation, or you're developing your own system, guess what?
Yeah.
That's our bodies.
That's our bodies.
That is our bodies. Car is the exact same thing. It works off of
Mm-hmm.
a system, right? And exactly
Yes.
what you said. The better fuel that you feed your
Mm-hmm.
car, the better it's going to run. Your
Yes.
body is the exact same thing. If you're going to put garbage into your body,
Mm-hmm.
don't be surprised if you're going to run out, your tank is going to run out of fuel.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised. It
Mm-hmm.
has to both be balanced. What you put in is what you're going to get out.
And I love that the quality of fuel that you put in, the quality of oil that you put in, right? Over time, you got to get an oil change. Why? Because there's engine breaking down inside the oil. Now you got to change it. And if you don't, guess what's going to happen? The engine's going to seize because that oil is not doing its job anymore. And that's what's happening when we put fast foods, when we put foods that are processed in our bodies. Your body starts to store fat because it's like, wait, I'm not getting the nutrition from the foods that you're eating. So let me start storing this because we don't know when we're gonna have proper food.
Absolutely. And I love that you mentioned that, Junaid, because that goes into also fasting, right? And I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
explain why. So
Yeah.
what you mentioned is huge. It's such an important part to nutrition because many people think that nutrition is just what we feed our bodies, the physical
Mm-hmm.
food. But it's not just that.
Yeah.
It's seen Nutrition is a holistic approach to the way that we're seeing everything in relation to us, right? To our own
Mm-hmm.
bodies and our world, the world
Yeah.
around us. So if we can understand that, then we should also be able to understand, like you said, like the car, that you need to flush your oil. Our
Mm-hmm.
system, our bodily, anatomical systems are the exact same way. You
Wow.
have to flush your gut. You have to flush your body. Why? When you don't, there's going to be excess toxins that are actually
Mm.
going to sit and ferment in your gut, which is the dumping
Ooh.
ground, as we spoke about, right? For
Yes. Yes.
everything.
Yes.
And you're going to have all the excess toxins, the excess feces, everything that is going to start to cake on in that digestive tract
Mm.
and sit there, ferment. And this can be over years.
Wow.
Yeah, which can lead to, digestive conditions, disorders, dis-eases. So other imbalances in your whole body, not even just the digestive system.
Wow. That is mind blowing. And I remember listening to Dr. Hyman, right? He was talking to on the Red Talk show, the Red Table
Red
Talk,
table? Yep.
the Red Table show with Jada Pinkett and Will Smith, and they're like, oh, he's gonna look. It was They started laughing when they're talking about it, but we're gonna take a look at your shit,
Yeah.
basically, right? And he mentioned how he asked a question: how many microbacteria do you think we have in our guts? And the answer just blew my mind. I was like, what? Really?
It can be, we're looking at anywhere, like it could be thousands, millions, billions. It depends on the person and their body, right?
True.
Are
True.
you cleansing regularly or
Mm,
frequently? I'm going to go into, I mentioned fasting a little bit before this because this
yeah.
actually feeds into the whole cleansing process. Part of fasting, that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's cleansing from mind, body, soul.
Mm,
More importantly, the soul of everything, right? From
yeah.
your core. And what fasting also does is it gives your body a break. So,
Yes, it does.
the 12 to 18 hours that people are usually stuffing their face during the day, and you're finding your sense of peace and calm within your whole system and within your mind. And I think it's one of the best things to do. It's one of the most cleansing and purifying things to do if you choose to do that route,
Yeah.
right, for yourself. I mean, there's other things you can do, such as a juice fast, right, or a juice cleanse, if you want to use those terms.
Right.
Great. And I'm not talking about those box juices. I'm talking about the ones that you make yourself, okay?
Come on. I want to do the box juice.
Right? You could do a water fast as well,
Mm-hmm.
or a water cleanse. So, I mean, there's so many things. Is people ask me, is fasting bad for you? No.
No.
But you have to have the right intention. It's just like with anything, right? People say, oh, is this diet good for you? Or this diet, being paleo or keto or vegan or all these things. My real answer is, what are your intentions for doing it?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you need to figure out within yourself. And then from there, then move forward in the approach that you choose to take.
So let's say I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay, I'm maybe 15 pounds overweight, and I want to lose that weight. What would be the proper diet for me to take on? Would it be all nutrition based? Would I include exercise? How would you approach that? Let's say that's the intention.
Yeah, I love that question. So what I'm going to say to you is, there's no diets. I don't believe in diets. I'm going to
Yes.
tell you that right now. I believe
Mhm.
in balance, okay? Healthy balance, because that's what our body is. That's where we came from. We came from our ecosystem. We came from Mother
Exactly.
Nature.
Mhm.
In Mother Nature, it's all about balance. It's all about the pros and the cons, and the ions and the protons, electrons, like all those things. So
Exactly, yeah.
for me to turn around and say to you, oh no, this is going to be the diet for you. No, because I don't believe in my heart,
Right.
that when it comes to diets, that
Yeah.
would definitely not be the way to go.
Mhm.
And you also said something very, very important. You said, would it be, if you want to lose 15 to 20 pounds, are you going to, let's say, eat better,
Mhm.
nutrition, like more, nutritiously?
Yeah.
Or are you going to add in more exercise? You're basically saying, Keisha, what is the regimen? And I'm going
Mhm.
to say, well, I think we've moved so far back that we fail to realize that holistic nutrition, taking that approach, is the exercise.
Mm.
It is the prayer and meditation. It is the fasting. It is the nutritious eating. See what I'm getting at? It is the
It's
supplements as well,
it's
taking nutritional, whole food supplements.
mm,
All of that is part of the holistic balanced nutrition.
okay. So it's a combination
You got it. It's
of it
there's
all.
absolutely right. It's the system. We
Mm,
have, Janae, we have 12 systems in our body. Can you believe that?
that's amazing.
Yeah, 12 systems we have, anatomical systems, okay? And I actually say 13 because the mind gut, I have to create
Right.
my own.
Yes, of
The
course.
mind gut, I see that as a system on its own
Yeah.
as well, right? That relationship between your mind and your gut. So, in saying that, everything has to work in tandem with each other in order for everything to run smoothly. When it doesn't, then we have an interference in our body, right? And that interference can be
Oh.
a parasite, it can be a
Mhm.
bacteria, it can be
Mhm.
other people's energies. It can be so many things. It could be bad
Mhm.
food, right?
Other people's energies. Whew. That's so powerful because we're absorbing those energies all the time, no matter where we are, who's around us, what their intentions are, how they're feeling. We might not see it, but there's a quantum mechanic around there, right?
Absolutely. So some may use the term feng shui. Some may use
Feng
the term
shui.
vastu, right? So that is actually the energy around us, around
Mm.
you, in your home, actually the surroundings in your home. So even down to your soil outside of
Wow.
your home. Yeah, all of that is the vastu. And then you have the resonance frequency, the chi, which is you, which is the vibration that is within you as a person.
Oh man.
How is that vibing? It's pretty cool, eh?
It is. It's absolutely mind blowing because, yeah, I mean, if there's a solar system, there's the weather system, then yes, there are other systems that are intermingled, and it's all related because it's the up and down of everything. Like all the way down to the molecular level or atomic level, there's electrons and positrons, right? There's wow, I love
Well,
it.
it's exactly what you are describing. I'm going to use one term and say energy.
Energy, yeah,
It all defines and comes down to one foundation, which is energy.
yeah.
We are all energetic, soulful beings. I use the term soulful because we all have a soul, right? Some people it's
Absolutely.
questionable, but I'm just kidding. Right? But it all boils down to energy, that energetic vibration. We are created in energy. That's one thing, whether you're a scientist, whether you're it doesn't matter. Like whether you're in pharmacology or whatever it may be, that's one thing we cannot negate is energy. Everything around us is energy. We are made up of energy.
Yes, we are. Wow. All right, mind blowing.
Yeah, I know, right?
Mind blown. I mean, I believe in all of this because we are, I mean, if we look at our pulse is made out of the wavelength. The color and the lights are all based on different wavelengths. Blue has a different wavelength, red has a different wavelength. So we are all wavelengths, right? We are
Absolutely.
combination of those energies. Um, man, I love this. So
It's frequency, right?
it's a frequency. That's right.
It's a vibrational frequency.
Yes,
And to take it a
that.
step further, to go deeper into, coming back to what you asked when it came to, do I eat more nutrition, like more
Mhm.
nutritious foods? Well, the question would be, what does nutritious foods actually look like?
Yeah.
Right? And I'm going to say this, it's actually food that has a high resonance frequency.
Ooh, high resonance
You like that, eh?
frequency. We're going to take a little break and we'll be back with Queen Keisha. I'm Junaid Ahmed, host of Hacks and Hobbies podcast and a digital presence advisor at HumbleZone. This episode is brought to you by Home Studio Mastery. I launched a consultation and course program to help podcasters and course creators to create a space in their homes that'll reduce the friction of creating content and appearing their best when showing up on camera. The pandemic gave us a lot of issues, but this one is here to stay. We're now so much closer to our audience thanks to video becoming more popular and affordable. I help guide folks who want to create Hollywood-worthy studios to not only capture great content, but also build more confidence, more authority, and be more comfortable in front of the camera. If I can do it, you can too. And with my help, you can do it faster. So if you'd like to learn more, visit homestudiomastery.com and how you too can create a home studio that brings out your personality, professionalism, and possibilities. Hey guys, welcome back to the episode. While we were in the green room and we were talking about soul tribe family, and I'm like, holy smokes, that is 3 words that are feel out of context, but they're not, right? Soul, tribe, family. There's 3 different things, but you mentioned, are we part of the same soul tribe family? I love that. So let's dig in to that as we continue the episode.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know I don't even know how we got onto that
hmm
topic, but it was more
Well,
of, yeah,
well, we were talking about the REM. We were talking about the deep sleep, and then the
right,
traveling.
right.
Yeah.
So busy bees. It was all those busy bees who are tired, right? We were speaking
Mm.
about being lethargic and waking up in the middle of the night sometimes,
Yeah.
to pee because we have to pee. And that breaks our sleep pattern. That breaks
Mm.
our sleep from, let's say just we call it a non-REM sleep, right? Which is basically you getting comfortable in bed and, you're in your fluffy PJs or whatever
Mhm.
it is. And it's
Yeah.
really just, going into a state of calm and peace and relaxation. From there, then you go into like a deep, deep sleep where your body doesn't move, nothing. And it's like
Mm.
sometimes you can just be in a totally different world in another place, which some people may call astral traveling, right?
Mhm.
Where we can speak to our ancestors and,
Yeah.
and you're in different environments and places. And you may even meet other people,
Goosebumps.
right? You may even meet other people that you may have never met in your life before,
Mm.
right? And so that's where we go into like a conscious state into the subconscious state of mind, right? And that's actually
Yeah.
our dreamlike state when we go into our REM sleep is our dreamlike state. And it sucks because sometimes a lot of us with our, busy minds every single day and things like that, when we go to bed, we
Yeah.
actually don't really kind of quote unquote dump all of
Oh,
what
we
we've
don't
done throughout the day.
so we don't file it away. We don't say, "Okay, we're gonna get back to it." And instead, our brain continues to process that information.
Correct. So you have this constant like thinking while you're sleeping, and that's why a lot of us never get to sleep.
Mm.
Right? We actually don't go into that deep sleep where your body is able to replenish itself, where your hormones are being produced, all of these things. Melatonin, super important for your sleep.
Yeah.
So you avoid the sleep deprivation. And that's what we were speaking about, that comes to our whole soul tribe family. Let's go back to that
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I know
exactly.
we were speaking about that. But
Yeah.
that's why we were speaking about the soul tribe family was because when we're
Mhm.
in deep sleep, our bodies are able to now go into a different state, a different realm of being, let's say, and it's just kind of like you're free. I kind of
Yeah.
see it like it's your life, or it could be your life
Mhm.
if you want it to be,
Yeah.
right? Or it may be a past life that may be coming up as well. That certain things may be, you know, you may be more astute to certain things, or they may be showing you. I like to use the term guidance,
Yeah.
right? So you'll have your guides or your ancestors, and I mean this is really like kind of metaphysical for those,
It is very
right?
metaphysical, very
Yeah,
quantum. Yeah.
very
Mhm.
yeah, like that quantum leap, that quantum faith, right? That's
Yes,
that's what it's about.
it
And
is. Yeah.
I find every time that I fast, it happens even more. So it happens to me
Mm.
every night,
Mhm.
but when I fast, it's like, whoa, when you wake up and you're like, okay, hold on. Did I just do that?
Mhm.
Was I in that place or was it just me? I don't, but it felt so real.
Yeah, I know. Like it's pretty epic. Absolutely. So the where we jumped off was the nutrition and how it's hydration is so important because our bodies need that water. And this is something I heard on Ron Burgundy podcast where he brought on a brain surgeon, brain scientist, not a surgeon, a scientist who studies brains. He's like, "Wow, you must be a," like he had a lot of puns to tell him, but the two things that he mentioned was one, our brains produce 1,400 new cells every day. So you can never stop learning because you have new cells to store that information. And number two, that every time we go to sleep, we get literal brain washes because our brain is squeezing, it's contracting down to 60% of its size, expelling all those toxins, which then, leave your body. And that's how it stays healthy. But what you're mentioning here is if you're breaking the cycle while you're sleeping, and all my kids and my wife and I, we both have this problem where we're waking up in the middle of the night to go use the restroom, or we have accidents, or stuff like that's happening, how can we resolve that or fix that or find a solution for that?
Yeah, so that could be so many things.
Mm.
It could be something so simple that you may not have, let's say, enough food to take you throughout the night.
Oh my
So,
God.
right?
Mhm.
And I mean, it happens. Like, there's times where it's like I'm waking up in the middle of the night and I'm like, I'm starving,
Mm.
right? That was telling me that I didn't eat enough, right? At dinner time or whatever it is before I slept.
Yeah.
So, in cases like that, you may want to go to, something such as like a banana, right? Or
Mhm.
back in the days, you used to be like, drink milk,
Yeah.
right? Because that tryptophan is going to help you to sleep.
Mhm.
Or it could also be organs, right? There's something, let's say your organs may not be working at optimal level.
Mm.
So especially like your kidneys, or it all depends on actually what time you wake up, because depending on the time, there,
Oh yeah.
there's actually an organ linked, right, to
Mhm.
that time frame that you may be waking up at. So that all depends. That's where something to go a little bit deeper. That's where, like, as we were speaking about
Yeah.
quantum leap and quantum faith, there's something called QRA, quantum reflex analysis, which is,
Mm.
in English, is just muscle testing. That's all it
Right.
means,
Yeah.
right? And that's where you are able to actually muscle test your organs. It's the best thing ever. So that's where
Wow.
you'd be able to be like, oh, okay, my kidneys may be a little bit weak. So you know what? I may need to boost it up with a little bit more, whatever it may be. You know what I mean? It can be
Right.
any mineral. It could just be simple water, for
Yeah.
instance, right?
Mhm.
It could be certain mineral salts, let's say, for instance, as well. So it all depends, but that helps. Nutrition is huge, whether it's coming in your food, your
Yeah.
juice, like whether you're drinking your nutrition,
Mhm.
or whether we're eating it, reading it, seeing it, or
Reading it, seeing it,
being it.
absorbing it from our environment. Mhm.
Absolutely. That is all nutrition from a holistic approach.
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
why are we're all linked, right? We
We
all
are
work in
interlinked.
tandem with each other. Our organs work in tandem with each other, right? And based on a
Yeah.
system.
This is very powerful. So, Queen Keisha, this has been so much fun talking to you about nutrition from the holistic approach. It's not just eat this, do this diet, do the exercise, go take a spa. You have to take all of the systems and all of the things into account for a better, healthy, vibrant body.
Absolutely. And I'm going to say this, for balance. That's what it is. We want to
Yeah.
live in harmony with ourselves, with our souls. We want to live in
Mhm.
harmony and in tandem, or we use the term homeostasis, which also means balance, right? With Mother Nature, because that's where it all begins and that's where it's going to end,
Mhm.
right? So we
We're back
want
on the
to
ground, exactly.
absolutely. So we want to make sure that we are all living, in harmony and in balance with ourselves, with one another, and more importantly, with Mother Nature. That's super important.
I love that. So, Queen Keisha, can you share 3 hacks to take away for the audience so they can apply being holistic with
Absolutely.
themselves?
Absolutely. We kind of touched on some already. I was
We
actually
did,
quite
absolutely.
shocked. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because my first thing is what I was going to say is actually get more sleep.
Get more sleep,
Right?
please.
You have to, sleep is super important. A lot of people are like, oh, I can run off of 3 hours or whatever it is. Good luck, have fun with that. You know what I mean? As we age, yes, our sleep, it reduces a bit, but we're looking between 7 to 9 hours.
Mhm.
But I'm telling you, that sleep, it's super important for regeneration, replenishing the body of nutrients, vitamins, minerals, all of these things, and downloading,
Yes.
right? And when I say downloading and dumping, it's all that stuff. It's all that gobbledygook. It's all the toxins, everything that isn't serving us. Our bodies are literally going through like a repair. It's like going through a car wash,
Mm.
right? That's what
Yes.
happens at night. Our bodies are going through a car wash. Then, of
Wow.
course, hack number 2. How many? No, let me ask you this, Janae.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you schedule yourself into your calendar?
Of course not. That's something I got to do. Yep, schedule myself into the calendar. Like, oh, this is the time when Junaid gets to go do this or go outside, and we actually leave it for chance. Oh, if I get 5 minutes here, I can go do this, but not really schedule it out.
So it's super, super important that you actually schedule yourself into your calendar. We always have, throughout our day, it's always go, go, go. We have
Hmm.
everything else and, our whole to do list,
Yeah.
the kids, the wife, everybody else. But where do we fit in that to do list? Right? We forget about ourselves a lot of the time. I make sure on a daily basis, I put in Queen Keisha time, even if it's for 30 minutes. I actually schedule it in my calendar and an alarm goes off at that time. So
Wow.
make sure that you schedule yourself into your calendar, into your to-do list. Why are
Yeah.
you not that important?
Hmm.
Right? Everything else and everyone else is that important. Why are you not important in your own calendar? Right?
No, that's so true because we just leave it to chance. Like we were like, okay, I will get to this when I get all the work done. We spend 8 to 9 to 10 hours a day doing work for others, and then we spend time like, okay, I guess spend time with the family, and then the time that we have left is like, okay, I guess I'm gonna spend a couple hours in the bathroom. That becomes our time, kind of, right? It's become that way where we are spending more times in there because it's literally a rest. But
Absolutely.
it's not the best kind because you're not really relaxing.
That's right. That's right. Right? It's
Wow.
it's it's the time that you're able to shut off your brain and just kind of really and
Hmm.
that goes to the last hack. Just breathe. Do you feel that? Just a deep breath.
Yeah. Whew.
It calms you down. It refocuses our brain, our minds, and it brings us back to center, to not just center,
Our own
our
center. Yeah.
core. So when people are feeling so anxious, which happens every single day today, that anxiety is running high, the stress levels are running high,
Hmm.
literally just stop
Yeah.
and breathe. I actually did that 2 days ago in the grocery store.
Hmm.
And a lady walked up to me. I closed my eyes and I stopped in front of my grocery cart.
Yeah.
And this lady came up to me and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I just zoned out and I came back to center and I said, "Yes, now I am." Right? Don't lose yourself in all of the
Hmm.
noise, right? This whole thing of what we spoke about today in our podcast, this is what holistic nutrition is about.
Yeah.
This is the continuous personal development of nutrition. This
Hmm.
is what it's about.
Oh my god, I've never had this much goosebumps on a podcast episode. This was a first. Thank you so much, Queen Keisha.
Thank you so much for having me, Janaid.
Absolutely. Now, before we let you go, we do have some quick questions for you, and we're gonna just go through them real quickly.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Let's get ready. What is the one hobby that you wish you got into?
Kung Fu.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
love that. And if you like kung fu and want to get into it, I don't know. Have you seen Ip Man?
Yes. That's
Okay. All right.
that's kind of where I'm basing it off of. And then
That's
going into
right.
Enter the Dragon and then like the Bruce Lee movie. I love
Yes, exactly.
huge Bruce Lee fan.
Okay, perfect.
That's
Perfect. I
me.
love that.
You hit the nail right on the head.
Mhm. Right on there because that's where it all started, right?
Absolutely.
Ip Man. And I
Absolutely.
had no idea, right? When the movie came out back in, I don't even remember when it came out. I was like, I don't know who's this Ip Man guy, and I just didn't never really watched it. And everybody was like raving about it. I was like, and then finally, I think earlier this year, I was like, I'm gonna go check out Ip Man because there's all 4 of them
Yep.
on Netflix. So I went, I binge watched them almost in
It,
like 4 weeks.
yep. It's amazing. That's the beginning of like Bruce Lee, right? The whole
Yeah.
training and all of that. So if you're a Bruce Lee fan like me, you got to watch
Mhm.
Ip Man. Because I watched
You gotta
Bruce Lee,
watch
but
it.
I didn't watch Ip Man, which,
Yeah, yeah,
usually happens. But
yeah, exactly. All right, sweet. Next question. What did you want to be when you were a child?
a singer.
Ooh, nice.
So I'm gonna just give you, another hack, I guess, or
Sure.
hobby. Both. It's
Yeah.
kind of a both.
It's a combination, yeah.
So I'm actually a opera singer.
Oh my God.
I study classical music. So there we go. The cat's out of the bag.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Hacks and Hobby exclusive. The
Yeah.
cat's out of the bag.
Right.
Awesome. Next question. What is your favorite movie or TV show?
I love. There's actually two. Okay,
Okay.
so
All right. That's
Bloodsport,
fine.
because with Jean Claude Van Damme.
God.
Love Bloodsport. I love the whole
Mhm.
training and all that. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love X-Men.
Oh,
I do. And Star Wars.
yes.
Star Wars just came to my mind too because I watched the trilogy over the Easter
You just
weekend.
started. You
The
gotta.
Force is with you. And that's exactly what we were speaking about, right? Our whole
Yes,
conversation is about the light, right? The light
it
of your
is.
food, the light of you, which is all the
Mm.
energy. It all comes down to energy.
Oh my
So
God.
sorry, guys, I had to give you three.
No, I love that. I love that. I'm a huge Star Wars fan too. I've got stormtroopers and Darth Vader back here.
That's awesome.
It's awesome.
Luke, I am your father.
And it's funny, right? That's your last name.
It is.
Was that awesome when you discovered Star Wars, or was it before? Like, I mean, like, okay, yeah, my name is Keisha Luke, and then the movies come out, and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, it was totally cool. Like I loved it because you'd hear Luke, like anytime, so I used to model as well, right?
Mhm,
When I was little. And when
mhm.
I was at an audition, sometimes they'll call your last name first,
Last name first,
right? So
yes.
they'd say Luke, and it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? I love my last name.
That's so cool. I love that. I love that. All right, next question. What movie would you choose if you got to play a character in it?
Mm, that would definitely be X-Men. Rogue.
Yes, Rogue. Oh,
Yes.
she's so misunderstood.
So
She's so
yes, so much
powerful.
powerful.
Mhm,
Yeah, I was just about to say.
mhm.
Actually, and I said that because that was the inspiration of my hair.
Okay.
So I always said to myself, I want to have like the rogue hair. You know what I mean? For whatever reason,
Mm,
she's super powerful. Just her healing abilities, just
yeah,
everything, who she is, what she stands for. Love it. And it's all about healing
it's all
humanity.
about healing humanity. That's right. That's what she's doing. Oh my
Exactly.
God. Look at all of these tangents and all of these, not tangents. These are cross sections or connections.
I was about to say it's the interconnectedness.
It's interconnectedness. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It's the neurons in our bodies, in our brains, connecting at a rapid rate. This is beautiful. I
Absolutely.
love it. So, if you were to choose Rogue as a character to play in a movie, who would be your favorite superhero?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Not really, actually. So I started to fall in love with. Oh, I just watched his movie on Netflix. Oh, I was gonna call him Cape Man.
Cape Man? Is it Batman?
No, 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 no,
No.
no.
Okay.
He is part of Marvel
Okay.
with Spider-Man. Like he was in the latest Spider-Man movie. That guy,
Oh, is that
and
what's
he had that cape.
right? He was the bad guy essentially.
No, 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 no. He
No,
was a great guy.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Okay,
Yes.
Doctor Strange. Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes. Okay.
So I did not know his story at
Oh,
all.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I love Marvel. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I absolutely love it, and I just fell in love with him. He made the Spider-Man movie. I'm telling you.
He did. He did.
Yeah,
So I'm sure you've gone back and watched Doctor Strange.
of course I did. And the new movie's
Okay.
coming out as
And the
well.
new
May
one's
6th.
coming
I know.
next week.
Yeah.
It's so awesome. I love
So
it.
I'm gonna go and watch that.
By the way, if you have Disney Plus, be sure to check out What If. It's an animated series, and there's Doctor Strange alternate versions. And his episode is mind blowing. Like, literally, I'm not trying to set it up, but you're going to love it. You're
Okay.
going to love it. It's on Disney Plus. What If series is awesome.
Okay, so you see how we spoke about interconnectedness?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when I went to the Dominican like last year with my aunt, and coming
Mm-hmm.
back on the airplane, there were
Yeah.
movies playing. And one of the movies was What If? And
So,
I didn't
did
get
they
to
play?
see because I
Oh,
saw
you didn't
another.
get to.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it yet, right?
Okay.
I was watching another movie, but I looked over and like one of my aunts is like crying, and I'm like, right from the movie, and then
Yeah.
she comes off. So of course, you know, we landed or whatever, and she looks at me and she goes, "You have to see the movie What If." Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
and I still haven't seen it. So I'm thinking like, okay, is this like a tearjerker? Is it like
No. It's not a tearjerker, but I think it's a 6-part. Because on Disney Plus, when they do the TV shows, they do a 6-part. But I think this was a 9-parter. I can't remember, but it's
okay?
9 episodes, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm not gonna give it away because you're a huge Marvel fan. You're gonna love it. I'm just
Okay.
saying that you're gonna love it. And then once you watch it, please text me or message me or email me because I wanna have a chat after that. It's gonna be
I definitely will. Wait, now I'm thinking, I'm like, is that the movie that she was crying about now? So you're telling me it's not a tearjerker, and then I'm like, maybe it's the wrong movie. But anyways, it
No,
was
I
like,
mean, I'm
what's
sure there's
something?
a movie, What If, but this is actually a series, animated
Okay,
series.
okay, no. So this was okay. So no, this
Yeah,
was an actual movie.
yeah.
So
So this is
okay,
called
I'm gonna
yeah.
watch the series, and it's on Disney Plus. I can't get it on Netflix.
No, it's on Disney Plus.
Okay, got it.
All right, last question. Who, if you were a board game, what would it be?
Monopoly.
Nice.
And you want to know why?
Yes, of course.
I love the car.
The car is awesome.
I'm a car fan. I'm a huge car fan. I love cars. So for me, I was always like, I would always fight with my brother and be like, we want to be the car. I want to be the car. They're like, no, you
Yeah.
be the shoe. It's like, no, you be the hat.
Well, my friend, you are gonna love this because there is a Star Wars themed Monopoly as well.
Are you for real?
Yeah, there's actually I spoke with a gentleman who said his friend had every single iteration of Monopoly known to man. And there's a
Wow.
lot of different iterations. There's the Back to the Future one, there's Star Wars. You could just imagine and just put in Monopoly.
That's amazing. Like Monopoly got banned in the house because
Oh,
it was
okay.
like
It's
intense.
intense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got all intense, especially the banker, and then some people
Oh
were
wow.
robbing the bank.
Oh
Just
my
kidding.
god. Well, Queen Keisha, this was so much fun talking to you. Thank you so much. And we'll be sure to include where the audience can find you in the show notes. Where do you like to be contacted?
Yes, so I am actually hosting weekly nutritional webinars that wherever
Yes.
you are around the world, you can jump on because this is virtual. It is every Tuesday evening from 9:15 to 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can
Mhm.
find it on eventbrite.ca under Nutritional Webinars with Queen Keisha.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. I'll definitely be jumping on one of those webinars because I want to learn more. And this was so much fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, and I so look forward to having you. It's awesome. These webinars are for total beginners, man. all the novices, everybody, all the beginners, I want everybody to come out, ask your questions, and come and learn, because there's going to be a lot of great digestible information that I'm going to share with each and every one of you.
I love it. Well, thank you so much again. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care. Thank you for having me, Junaid.
Thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this episode on Hacks and Hobbies. We absolutely appreciate your contribution. You can find additional notes on hacksandhobbies.com. Please share the podcast with your friends and tell them what you learned about our guest today.